until after this game.
And I will say this, we've seen Ken play those mono-red matchups absolutely beautifully, choosing to pick his spots with when to attack, when to keep things back. This one, that motto that he goes by, always be attacking? Well, you know what? That kind of is the case in this matchup.
Ken's been really playing it up for the fans at home today. He said he's the best mono-red player. He proved that, as he's the one that came out of that half of the bracket.
Although
he said always attack,
right?
And he's been doing a bunch of that too.
Well, note that Ian Robb is also not a slouch when it comes to understanding the mono-red matchup, as he did top 8 the last Pro Tour with an aggressive deck.
Yeah, this deck, the deck he's playing is not that dissimilar, but you can see it's a little bit of a stretch off. You can see Ian not happy about that opening loss.
Awesome.
Ken looks pretty calm. He has been here before. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he's really...
What is happening here?
I think he's visualizing the win.
Yeah, it's like mountain. Hero.
Yeah.
Mountain. Manifold Mouse.
Switch and get 4 phones for $0, plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
Hero.
Yeah.
Mountain. Manifold Mouse.
And you heard Ken say, "You playing first?" And Ian said, "Uh-huh."
Good choice.
Uh-oh. Did you catch that? Ian's mulliganing and he goes, "Come on." Like, just to himself, just that little, like, not like this. Give me a shot.
Like, if there's any moment, right? Because you dream about moments like this. You're in the Pro Tour Finals. You just, at the very least, just want to have a good match of Magic.
Yeah, it is interesting seeing Ian's demeanor. You can sense the urgency from him. He really wants to get on the board here, get a win against Ken.
Team Canada versus...
Yeah, and
this is the point at which we usually start bargaining with the Magic odds. Just keepable hand. Doesn't have to be perfect.
Right. All right, looks like Ian did keep this 6 here. And the Mulligan decision was extremely quick, too.
Yeah, so this could be a really nice 6, and remember, he's going to be on the play as well. So, game number 2 upon us. Land go from Ian, not from Ken, though.
He did have Hardfire Hero into Manifold Mouse, but I think Lightning Strike on the Drade Catcher makes a lot of sense here.
Wow.
That is the card that can just snowball the game out of control. Get it while Ian doesn't have mana up.
That's right. That's the one Lightning Strike for Ken Yukihiro. He just wanted one more burn spell, and that's the one that he chose.
And no third land here from Ian. He has got a Skapori Steel Cutter, but he's taking 4 damage this turn. And guess what? There's a little bit more. Hired Claw coming in as well here from Ken Yukihiro.
Big turn for Ian Robb now. He's got Opt, Storm Chaser's Talent, Monstrous Rage, and another Cutter.
Yeah, if he found a third land, being able to go Cutter and Urstone would have been so big. Now, he did find a land here. Might still play the Cutter here, but you only have the 1 token and you're already down to 15. And there's no interaction here from Ian's hand. Right?
That's the real problem. Like, that stock up is miles away.
Right, if you don't have the removal spell for the mouse combo, you just die. We've seen it time and time again.
But what choice does he have? Right?
Yeah.
Is it just land, Steel Cutter, pray,
block, chump? I mean, it's not going to attack.
Okay, he does pass the turn back, mountain off the top of the library here for Yukihiro.
Yeah, another land is quite nice here, because now you can play out the Emberheart Challenger.
He can double spell this turn, or he can Manifold Mouse.
Yeah,
with Offspring, he's got a lot of choices.
A lot of options. No spells here. Like, any type of spell would be nice, because then that would let you attack with the Hired Claw as well. If you tap out, then you can't attack with the Hired Claw because it is a 1/2. So I understand why Ken is thinking through all the options here.
It's too bad there's not.
This is a huge turn for him.
Okay, so going to be double striking both of those creatures.
So he played Manifold Mouse.
Yeah. And that's just going to be milled, or excuse me, he's not going to be able to play that card, of course.
Yeah, Burst Lightning just gets exiled here, and it's just going to stay that way.
And this is what, 10 damage coming in?
Wow. Is Ian forced to chump block already?
Yeah,
there's no trample happening here.
Right, they're both double strike, most likely. So I imagine you just, maybe you just put the token in front of the Hardfire hero, you're saving yourself 6 damage.
I would do something.
Take 4 down to 11, go.
Okay, so
Can Ian pop off here with 2 Quarry Steel Cutters on the board?
it's tough. There's a wild ride. I don't think he has close to lethal here, though. But he will be able to play a couple of spells. Wait. He's got wild Monstrous Rage, I guess? Oh.
Okay.
Quarry Steel Cutter, how much damage?
I mean, this is
right. There's also a Monstrous Rage here, so 2, 4,
Not Team Canada.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I got confused.
Plus Monstrous Rage. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 15 damage?
It's a really nice turn, but Ken's at 20. So he's just going to sit back with the 2 monks and only attack with the otter.
Interesting, because the other line here, because he didn't play a 4th land, would have been to maybe just play stock up first, try to find a land, then play Stormchaser's Talent. You still trigger the Quarry Steel Cutter. Now, noting that by playing it this way, you still get to keep up and bluff into the Floodmaw or Torch the Tower, which could be Ian's maybe only chance at potentially staying alive here. Also, by using that Monstrous Rage at instant speed, you do have the ability to pump up your creatures with prowess to make sure that you don't just die next turn.
Right. Still thinking.
Cheers.
What happened to him?
I'm just watching Team America get their butts kicked by Team Japan in Magic.
Now, this doesn't have trample currently, so just considering chump blocking with the higher clock, keeping the life total high. Oh, going for the rage. So now you're tapped out.
Boy, this just tapped out Rob, though. This is going to be a lot of valuable information for Yukihiro. And just 2 tutus back.
Oh,
Just
higher
challenger. Okay.
just creatures here. Now, of course, with the double Manifold Mice, you do get another look here if you do target the Emberheart Challenger. You can also go trample and double strike, right? Because you do have the 2 mice in play on the Hardfire hero. You can also pump it with the Rockface Village. That's in play right now. So a lot of options here. Ken just running through all the numbers here, noting that he does need to fight through 4 toughness here.
Yeah,
He's feeling pretty confident here, though. You just attack with everything.
There's an
Double strike trample, attack with everything.
Wow, everything comes in the red zone.
So if you just attack the 2, if you block the 2 creatures on the right, this is 10, 12 damage coming in on the creatures on the left, right? That's game.
Yeah, that's 12 damage, and Ken Yukihiro has won 2 quick games and is 1 game away from being a Pro Tour champion here. This is happening quickly.
I mean, this is what you expect from the mono red deck, right? I mean, kind of coming into this tournament, the big bad was the Izzet Cutter decks. And yes, the Izzet Cutter deck is extremely, extremely powerful. But at the same time, if you really look at the past tournament results, it's basically mono red almost winning every single one of the major events. It means, I mean, the deck is still extremely powerful, and it just has a very proactive play. It doesn't really care about what your opponents are doing. It made that slight adjustment too, right? Before it would play other 2-mana plays. Now you even have access to Mage Bane Lizard, which is a really, really big problem to deal with as well. Now we're seeing Ken Yukihiro with a 2-0 lead in this matchup.
Impressive stuff from Ken and the mono red list. We're going to take a short break from here. Players are going to be looking at their sideboards. And we're going to be back with Game 3 right after this.
I will not be taking my place. Magic Con in Vegas. Hell no. I will not. I might take a bloody on mine. For 2 or 3. Shut this off because it's my wireless keyboard. It's Bluetooth.
And welcome back to coverage here of Pro Tour Final Fantasy. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe. I'm with Paul Cheon, and we are in the finals. If you're just joining us, it's Ken Yukihiro playing Mono Red. Ian Robb finds himself down.
Can't remember. I'll be right back. And back.
Two games to 0 with Izzet prowess. As Ken was able to win the first game on the play, he's the higher seed, and then a mulligan from Ian Robb. Even though he was on the play, he wasn't quite able to establish enough of a board state, and Ken went wide.
Yeah.
Took 12 from the unblocked creatures in the last turn, did Ian, and he finds himself in the unenviable position of needing to win 3 games in a row to be a PT champ.
I think both players might be
Looks like they're both on 6.
on a mulligan here. Now, I will say I really like Ken's setup in this particular matchup. The cards that Ian really needs to rely on to I think the heavy hitters in his deck are those blue permanents, right? So we're talking about Draycatcher and Vivi, and by having 4 copies of Charming Bite in the main, along with 2 copies of Lithomantic Barrage in the sideboard, that gives you 6 answers to those problematic creatures, and if you can find an answer to those, I mean, those prowess creatures don't look all that impressive on defense, right? Because oftentimes you're just kind of tapped out. So yeah, Ken has lots and lots of answers to kind of the cards that you would consider the trump cards from Ian Robb.
I can tell basically.
Ken has Mountain Heartfire Hero. He, I believe, had kept a 1-lander, but it looks like he's found another mountain, and that is critical.
And Ian kept in hand of all islands, no cantrips, has 2 red cards in hand, but can't play any of them.
Yeah, it looks like he played a sleight of hand and has not found what he was looking for, at least red mana-wise. Storm Chaser's Talent, that is on no. Triple Island Opener.
Yeah, I mean, this is just not ideal. Has nothing else to play here. There's an unable to scream. Do you just put it on the Emberheart Challenger here? You just need to do something, right?
Sure do.
Okay.
Attack for 3. Ian Robb doing everything he can, but he's going to run out of runway very quickly if he doesn't find red mana shortly.
Ken has a handful of removal. Can play another Challenger here.
Yep. Immediately.
Okay. All right,
15 go. Is this a red source?
I didn't even think I was at risk of shingles. I was wrong. Talk to your doctor today.
This is TCGplayer.com, the trusted marketplace for trading card game players who are always looking to level up. Here's how they do it. TCG Player connects you with game stores everywhere, so you can build winning...
Okay. All right,
15 go. Is this a red source?
Yep.
It is.
Did find a red source here. There is a VV, but it's a naked VV. That's an 03. Doesn't have a spell. And Ken Yukihira does have the Charring Bite here. Not using Suplex, of course, because if Ian does have an opt, could counter it.
And plays it safe. It would have actually worked, but
Right.
doesn't know that, of course.
And you get the prowess trigger here from the Challenger. You can still attack for 3. Actually attacking with both. He's like, you know what? Use the red source. You don't have a spell here.
Great read from Ken.
Then
surveys the scene.
And Ian thinking, well, maybe I just put my creature in front of the Heartfire here, right? It is a 1/1. It's like if you have a Monstrous Rage, I'm already behind here. Maybe I just put my Otter token in front of the Heartfire hero.
And he didn't block. Ken gets through for extra damage.
He needs another spell here to go with the Pori Steel Cutter. He does look kind of excited. Maybe he finds a second card.
Again, sleight of hand.
All right, into the Flood Maw or Unable to Scream would be an excellent find here.
This is how it can go.
That is a Torch to Tower, but only has that blue mana up at least for this turn.
Ken sitting on double suplex and another Challenger.
And this is an attack for 8 right now, right? That's 2 spells with the Otters were in play.
Yes.
So we're looking at 3, 6, 7, 8 damage coming in. And Ian's at 11, but as far as with Ken's hand, it's a lot more controlling, right? So Ken really benefit from that. But remember, with Unable to Scream, you can still block.
Yeah. In this case, it's just going to be a chump block, but he'll
So he takes 5. Oh, and Wild Ride on the creature with Pori Steel Cutter on it. That's a lot of damage.
Self-destruct on from Yukihira?
Okay, it doesn't have 4 lands here though, right? So you can't like cast Suplex into Self-Destruct. Self-Destruct with Heartfire Hero is 4 damage, I think.
So he just needs to get rid of the Steel Cutter here.
Steel Cutter here, most likely. Okay.
It's going to exile that.
Oh, and keeps the creature back to block to play around potentially a Wild Ride, right?
Wow.
Okay, Mountain. Okay, we can look at the graveyard. You can get a 1-mana spell back from the graveyard with the Storm Chaser's talent. You can also play a Wild Ride and harmonize it. But I don't think you're going to have enough damage here. Ken is at 10 life here.
So Ian's going to start off with his land, activate Storm Chaser's talent, get back Sleight of Hand, and cast it.
Ken might be really, really close here, depending on what Ian does here. Can't play another spell this turn, right?
Nope.
You either pick a land or a spell. This is a potential attack for 6 here, which would put Ken down to 4.
And it seems difficult for Ken to get 8 damage through, but...
I mean, through blocker for sure, right?
Right. Ian played last game quite aggressively. Will he do the same here?
So if you block, let's say you chump, is he going to attack with everything? Okay, just with the 2.
He's going to leave back 1 Otter for blocks.
Ken can find like a Monstrous Rage off the top. That would just be game. Okay, all right, so we are. A land would also be fantastic. I think a land could also do it here.
He found a hired claw.
Hired Claw does not quite get it done.
He can double spell this turn, but is he just going to get ran over?
Right, especially with that wild ride, you have to be careful here. Those otter tokens can just provide lethal, especially if Ken just doesn't have a board. I mean, you could use Suplex just to kill one of the creatures.
Is Ian going to block regardless here? Like, does Ken get to just attack and eat an otter effectively?
Yeah, I mean, if you attack with the Emberheart Challenger,
another one, right?
And then you're just down to the one token.
And, you know, you can die from that too, but that's a lot harder. Suplex it.
Okay. Getting for 3. And the 2 blockers is not bad.
Yeah,
he hit 5. Okay.
Oh, this is super close.
All right, one can Ian.
Who can find a monstrous race first?
He's got a wild ride here too. Unable to scream. That's the problem with unable to scream, though, right? It doesn't remove the creature.
No.
You still bring it in because it's a cheap answer to Magebane Lizard, but they still get to block.
Absolutely. In fact, it upgrades as a blocker.
Right.
Gives it extra toughness on that hero. 6 to 5 life totals. Ken Yukihiro so close.
Yeah, I mean, like, and now with Ian at 5 life, all you need to do is attack with Hired Claw, get your opponent down to 4, and then you can cast Self-Destruct.
So so if Ian does want to use Unable to Scream, it needs to be on the Hired Claw
or the Heartfire Hero.
They're both the same.
Well, because you couldn't have Heartfire Hero.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
It does leave both blockers anyway, which they were going to be there.
But then now Ken has the win, doesn't he? Yeah. Oh, he's got 1 mana up. He's got 1 mana up. But didn't play the sleight of hand.
Right. Ken is aware of that, but he is not aware of the other card.
But the land is huge here because you can also play with the Emberheart Challenger.
Yes, you can. There's Ken Yukihiro playing Emberheart Challenger, turning everything sideways. He's going to get the Hired Claw trigger.
What are you going to block with, Ian? Ian's just bluffing here. He's got nothing.
He has
just goes for
nothing.
This is the game.
Ken seconds away from being a Pro Tour champion. He's been here 7 times now.
Wow.
He knows one of Ian's cards.
Right.
He just doesn't know what the other one is.
Get free slice sauce when you mix and match handmade pan or Parmesan stuffed crust pizzas. Right now, get 4 phones for $0, plus 4 lines for just $25 per line.
He just doesn't know what the other one is.
But and Ken even has a blocker here too. Even through something, right? Okay, and
go to damage.
Ken can kind of play it patiently here too. He doesn't have to fire it off now. He could wait, right? To see if Ian's the first person to flinch. Now the Ken has to go, do you have the answer to the self-destruct or do I wait? Because he can win at any point with this self-destruct.
Once the way is clear, there's a land, there's sleight of hand, it's still that one unknown card in hand.
What you got?
He found Corey's Steel Cutter
and into the Flood Maw here. He does have Wild Ride too. So if he goes bounce your token, and then goes for the Wild Ride kill, Ken will then get him with the self-destruct.
Yes, he will.
But that's probably his line here, right? If you're Ian Robb.
Yes. There's Wild Ride. He thinks he's going for the game win, but Ken has set the trap.
Last card in hand, Ken knows.
And now Ken can just fire it off. And Ken Yukihiro does 2 damage to Ian Robb to become a Pro Tour champion. Unbelievable from Ken Yukihiro as he breaks down. This is the culmination of a career of hard work for Ken Yukihiro, and you can see it on his face.
7th time is the charm. This is Ken Yukihiro's 7th top finish, and this is his first Pro Tour title.
What a moment for Ken. He's been working towards this goal for so long. Oh.
And Ian Robb here too, showing incredible grace in defeat.
That was really nice of Ian. That was really nice of Ian to say, hey, you should be happy. It means a lot. You know, losing in the finals of the Pro Tour, it stings. You know you don't get many chances of that, and that was a class act there from Ian Robb. Ken Yukihiro overcome with emotion, but he is your Pro Tour champion. Huge round of applause from his fans.
That's that trophy.
Oh, fantastic.
And on this day, Ken Yukihiro is the best mono red player in the world.
He wasn't lying, was he, Paul?
3-0.
Well, it looks like the tears have stopped and the smiles you hear. No, he's going for both at the same time.
It's not going to stop.
Oh, I love this. This is so beautiful. It shows how much this means to Ken. Wow. What a huge moment for Ken Yukihiro, and honestly for competitive Magic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ken Yukihiro has been a Pro Tour mainstay for a very long time. I think there was like a short period of time where he wasn't playing. It actually kind of felt kind of weird because he wasn't there, but then he managed to find a way to get back, qualify for the Pro Tour, and it was just a matter of time. I mean, he is one of the greatest players out there. 7 top finishes is absolutely incredible, and to finally get there with his deck in just such a convincing, dominant fashion, being patient. And that's a weird thing, right? When you talk about a deck.
That's my reaction. Awesome. Good fight for Team Japan. And also a hard-fought loss to Team America. Anyways, I love you guys.